and we have another special guest this afternoon. What are we going to be looking at this afternoon? It's going to be the art of wine, which I happen to know is a very popular topic amongst members of the Art Center family. So I'd like to introduce you to Glen Reid from Total Wine and More. They are our reception wine sponsor. Hello, Glen. How are you?
Good afternoon. Nice to see you. Nice to be with you guys.
Well, we're so glad that you're coming up from us. You're actually at Total Wine right now, aren't you?
Yes, I'm taking a little hiatus from being on the floor, yes.
Well, I know that you've been very busy. While our receptions for our art exhibitions have gotten smaller, things are different right now, and of course, your health, well-being, and safety is of paramount importance to us here at the Marco Island Center for the Arts. We are holding receptions on the second Tuesday of each month, and the exhibition right now is Here and There. It is the work of 5 Cuban artists. And when I talked to Glen about the fact that we were going to have Cuban artists' work in our gallery, I asked him to make a selection for us in terms of what the wines would be that we would be offering at our second Tuesday. And of course, next Tuesday, November 10th, is the second Tuesday of November, and you can come and try them out. So Glen, I'm going to start with the red. It is, I'm going to probably do something terrible to the name, Quinta das Carvalhas. Can you tell us a little bit about this wine and why you chose it for our reception?
Yeah, I chose this one, Hyla, because again, we know we don't get too much out of Cuba, unfortunately, but looking at the cuisine and the general culture, the Portuguese wines, to me, kind of fitted in very, very nicely. This is a lovely red blend, so it goes nicely with cold cuts, cheeses, as well as most of the meals, because the red blend is very friendly. And it's also very unique because it's made exclusively from grapes native to Portugal. So again, it's just it's a little bit higher in the alcohol at 14%, but again, it's just a lovely drinkable. It's also big enough where you could decant it a little bit. But again, generally it goes well with most foods, especially on the spicy side and the cold cuts and stuff. So I found it very nicely. Hopefully you guests will too.
Well, again, we served it in October, and people really enjoyed it. And of course, people can get this wine up at Total Wine and More. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's in our Portuguese section. Yes, it's a growing section, but yes, something there too.
Now we're going to talk about the other wine, and normally when we do a second Tuesday, we offer a red and a white, so it's usually a Cabernet Sauvignon and probably a Chardonnay or a Pinot Grigio, but Glen got us to try something different, and everybody loved it. Can you tell us a little bit about this Seastone Rose that we will be serving next Tuesday?
Yeah, so the Seastone Rose, again, it's a lovely, rosés are wonderful, especially in Florida, pretty much most of the year. But again, this comes from the northern coastal region of Portugal. It does have Riga Nacional and a couple of very unique native grapes up there in the Vinho Verde region. But again, it's just that lovely light fruits. It has a slight effervescence to it, which people I think will find it very enjoyable also. But again, it just goes with a nice cross section of the meats and cuts and salads and light dishes, that are popular in the Cuban culture.
Well, it was delicious, and while we are not having people having their wine in the building, we have set up a wine bar right outside, and after you go and enjoy the exhibition or enjoy our gift gallery, you can go outside and enjoy your glass of wine. So if you're interested in trying these wines, they will be served at our second Tuesday reception on November 10th, which runs from 5:30 to 7. But do remember, you need to make a reservation because attendance is limited. Now, Glen, and we've worked with you now for a year, so you've brought some amazing wines to the Marco Island Center for the Arts, along with being the major wine sponsor for our 50th anniversary Golden Gala, which was pretty spectacular. Can you tell us a little bit, how long have you been with Total Wine and how long has this been your business?
I've been with Total Wine now 5.5 years. In those years, I've been in 4 different stores. Naples is my most recent store and hopefully my final resting place, no pun intended. But it's a job I literally get paid to have fun. I love the art of wine, and the company that Total Wine brings to the table is very unique in the industry. So it's been a perfect marriage for me and the company. We like each other, and yeah, it's going to be a long term. My final resting place will be here.
Well, how did you develop this interest? Because I do know that wine it's an art, the way people collect paintings, people collect wines. I know some real wine connoisseurs that are here on Marco. How did you develop this interest, and then how did you gain the expertise that you have?
Let me flip that around. I'll start with the expertise. Part of one of my many attractions to Total Wine is the ongoing training and education and knowledge base that they really want you to have from day one when you join the service team. Again, I make fun of it to customers at the store, but it's true. We get to take home a case of wine every month as homework, and it's a tough job, but you get through it. And it's nothing more than to actually experience these small crafted wines that you wouldn't normally find anywhere else, because they're not made in large quantities like most of your well-known brands you can buy anywhere. So with Total Wine, we sell the everyday stuff that you can buy anywhere, but we also specialize in some of the wines we have are maybe 10 barrels in the entire year. But we give those small producers a voice in the retail marketplace, and it's glorious. And part of the training, we have internal exams that we have to pass to just increase our knowledge, so we can engage the customers whether they want to spend $5 or $5,000 on a bottle of wine and kind of gauge their palate. We also get to travel with the company on educational trips. I've been out to California, to taste wines throughout Sonoma and Napa, with the company, which is just, as a wine enthusiast and a wine geek, it doesn't get much better than that. My affinity with wine really comes from my dad, who was a butler when I was a little boy in England. And, I used to be around the lords and ladies helping out with the big dinner parties and, setting things up and have to measure the spoons and stuff from each other from into the table, all very English. And I just kind of carried that through. So it's a job it's a match made in heaven.
Wow. Well, I would say you are very fortunate to be able, where your work really isn't work, but something that you enjoy so much. I understand that, being surrounded by art myself, which is something that's rather magical for me. And I will tell you, I am a customer at Total Wine, as you know, because I come up to meet with you and I never get out the door without a few bags under my arm. I'm always sneaking them into the house, but I want people to know I recently, wasn't wine, but I recently purchased a bottle of rum to make a certain drink with, and I bought it on a Saturday, and by Monday morning I had received 6 rum recipes from Total Wine so that I could expand what I was going to do with that bottle. That's pretty amazing. So, again, I think you've talked about it with your dad being really the person who was your influence in getting into this. Have there been any other people, perhaps people through your training at Total Wine, who have really sort of made you think, yes, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to want to do for the rest of my life?
Yeah, as part of the training and some of the experiences I've got to have with the company, a couple of years ago I got to go to Miami and actually be a part of the release of the 2014 Bordeaux vintage, and got to meet 110, chateau owners and winemakers from the Bordeaux region there. So it's meeting and speaking with these individuals that are very humble, because again they play with wine and dirt, and Mother Nature and what they turn out. And one of my main enjoyment factors from the wine is how, from one end of the village to the other end of the village, the wine can vary so greatly based on, just a few dynamics of, winds, rain, drainage, sun exposure, things like that. So it really, if you are a wine enthusiast, it just how one person, one next door neighbor can really change and have a different experience using the same basic ingredients, but different variables. So it's phenomenal.
Now, we're going to be looking, these are going to be served in November, but December, our exhibition is going to be the work of our remarkably talented artists in our clay guild that work out of our clay studio. So what's going to inspire you if all of the work in the gallery is all pottery and ceramic and work done in clay?
Well, that's actually a very, again, to join the two, obviously a lot of the wines around the world are based in clay soils. So I'm going to have a lot of fun coming up with 2 or 3 selections that could, again, just provide a very nice, subtle parallel to that genre, that medium. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we are looking forward to it as well, and hopefully you'll be able to join us and really talk with our visitors, our guests, about these wines so they can continue to learn more. And of course, it'll be right around the holiday season, so who knows? I may get a bottle of this in my holiday stocking, which would be great.
Going forward, my goal is to, try and, be back in attendance at the second Tuesday or first Tuesday, John.
No, second Tuesday. You were right. We are on the second Tuesday, and we hope that you'll be joining us. I know it has been a hectic and somewhat challenging time, but we really appreciate it when you're with us, just to be able to bring your expertise, and so that people, while they're enjoying their art, also can learn about the wines that we serve for them. So, Glen, I want to thank you for joining us today, and I hope that maybe we'll be able to have other conversations like this so that our Art Center friends and family can learn more about wine, because I know there's a great deal of interest out there, and it's something that people will really enjoy. Today is Thursday, so we won't see you again until next Tuesday, but which will be the day of our reception. So please, when you're thinking about next week, next Tuesday is our second Tuesday reception, when these wines will be served courtesy of Total Wine and More in Naples. And where are you located, Glen? Just so people are trying to find you.
Yes, we're actually located in the shopping plaza at the corner of Pine Ridge and Airport Pulling.
Very easy to get to. Very convenient.
Opposite Drive, yes.
Then on Wednesday, we are fortunate to have theater producer Charlie Bloom, who also spoke to us about the professional music business back in October. He's going to be with us with a presentation called Backstage Pass, where you can learn about how professional theater, whether it's on Broadway or a touring company, is created, and what you don't see when you go to see the show out front, but what's really happening behind the scenes. Again, there's no charge for this program, but we do only allow 30 people. So please give us a call at 239-394-4221. Make your reservation. You'll be glad that you did. Last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about what's going to be coming up after we celebrate Thanksgiving and as we head into the holiday season. Marco Island Center for the Arts will be bringing back, for the 7th year, our Festival of Trees, and we are looking for tree designers just like you. All trees have to be 3 feet and under. They can be decorated in any way. We have an application online so you can check out what the requirements are. And these trees go into a silent auction, which is a little mini fundraiser. And when they sell, you get half, the Art Center gets half. So you're really helping us out. Along with our Festival of Trees, we normally would have Santa Claus with us, and unfortunately Santa's a bit of an older gentleman, so we have to be concerned about what's going on here. We wouldn't want Santa to get sick. But Santa loves to shop at the Marco Island Center for the Arts gift gallery. So he's going to leave us a mailbox, and children out there are going to be able to write a letter to Santa, and just for $5, we'll make sure that Santa sends a personalized video to your child. When Festival of Trees comes down, that same weekend, December 5th, we will have our Cars as Art, where we have vintage cars that are judged not by auto experts, but by artists. It is a wonderful event for family, friends, car enthusiasts, people who like art. It's great. It'll run from 10 to 4 that afternoon, and while it's going on, those people in our Clay Guild, who I mentioned before, who are such a talented bunch, they're going to be doing a little holiday sale out in our courtyard. So if you're looking for a gift for that special someone, you may want to stop by and check it out. Glen, thank you so much for joining us today. I know this is the first of many conversations that you and I are going to have about wine and maybe something else.
Inviting me.
To our Art Center friends and family, we hope that you have a very good weekend. We want you to know that we are and will always be your art home. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.